Hello everybody and welcome back to another blind commentary of Avatar. However, it's not the series. And honestly though, I am dreading this. It's the fated day and I will be doing a commentary of the last Airbender movie. I have not seen this, but I've heard of its infamy, so this will be... God, I don't want to do this. Honestly though, this will be quite horrible. I know it's made by M. Night Shyamalan, or directed rather, and he makes, shall we say, questionable movies, so let's just get on with this. You can just presume that there will be a lot of pausing throughout this. Oh my god. It's been a while since I've gone to even movies. Okay. Yeah. I suppose Nickelodeon is now regretting that they have stuck their name into this. I mean, I'm also already kind of regretting I put my name into this, like, commentary. I'm gonna need a lot more hemp before we get through. Yeah. Well, let's go on in with an open mind. I mean, honestly though, that wasn't too bad.
100 years ago, all was right with our world.
I mean, that opening was actually kind of really well recreated, so...
The four nations, water, fire, and
yeah.
nomads lived amongst each other in harmony. Great respect was afforded to all those who could bend the element. The Avatar was the only person born amongst all the nations who could master all four elements.
Yeah, definitely. Open a movie with an opening freaking...
communicate with the spirit world.
Just text scroll. That's how you decide to open. Oh.
And then 100 years ago, he just disappeared.
Well. Yeah. Yeah, because you're definitely getting another movie out of this one. Oh boy. I certainly hope that he is not, or at least that someone else would. I mean, that actually looks really... that doesn't look too bad. Too bad. That's... excuse me. Yeah, I'm dreading this horribly, but yeah, apologies for that slight interruption. Shall we continue? Is that supposed to be Tara?
I'm sorry. Hey.
Those... please don't tell. They can... oh my god. They can't honestly be Katara and Sokka. That just...
It was better that time. I forgot Mom. Isn't that strange?
Yeah. Guess so.
My...
stop doing that stuff around me. I always get wet.
God.
My brother and I live in the Southern Water Tribe.
They
we
are...
to a big city. Our father's off fighting in the war. My mother was taken prisoner and killed when I was young.
God.
In this time of war, food is scarce. My brother and I often go hunting for food, but unfortunately my brother isn't the best hunter in the world.
Oh boy.
Tiger seal.
Are you sure?
That is Couldn't you have found someone who looks a bit more like... Whatever, artistic freedom. But, like, that's not how Eskimos... Hey look, we're less than 4 minutes in and I'm already aggravated.
I did everything Dad said to do. I watched what side of the fin tracks are more indented. That shows you which direction they're going. I saw how long the drag skids are. That shows you how fast they're going.
Well...
There's something under there.
Yeah. At least he has a boomerang.
It's caving! Move away from the cracks!
I don't think it's called a cave-in when the ice is breaking, so... Whatever. Why did you stop?
Tara, don't go near it. This is probably some Fire Nation trick. Just back away, really slow.
No, boy. Actually, that boomerang doesn't... That's not the boomerang, that's the freaking... That's the freaking mason, it doesn't... Or the... Whatever that weapon is called, but it doesn't even look like that. I mean... That's a very... That... I have a bad feeling about this. I mean, the effects are decent and they have recreated some scenes like so far at least adequately. I mean, it looked kinda nice, but kinda. I mean, Appa looks close enough, I suppose. Okay. Well, he certainly looks like a child.
Did you see that light shoot to the sky?
What's your name? How did you get here? How did you get in the ice? He's exhausted.
Okay.
Back to the village.
I don't know. I don't mind that Appa looks like maybe a bit too, shall we say, brown. He's just fine enough, but where's the wall? There's supposed to be a wall around. Whatever. The wall was a rather important part. Those tattoos actually are... I don't
How
know.
did you get all the way out here?
What?
Ran away from home.
Oh.
We got in a storm. We were forced under the water of the ocean.
Oh, I see.
It wasn't very smart. I was just upset. Thanks for saving me.
Lucky.
I probably should get home. Oh, I'll be worried.
You're not still upset?
Not as much as I was.
What? You know of the Uncanny Valley effect? Yeah, this is it. Like, could you put some emotion into it, or maybe have just that? Oh my God, you don't look natural at all. That's, oh God, I got a real bad feeling about this.
Fire Nation is here.
What?
And they brought their machines.
Their
I
machines?
tell you it's safe.
You mean their boat?
Something wrong?
No. Please wait here.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a wall. But why? Oh god, okay, whatever.
Coincidence that we break him out of the ice and light shoots into the sky, and now the Fire Nation is here with their machines.
Machines? What machines? They... whatever. Are those supposed to be like the... Those don't resemble the Fire Nation clothing at all. What the... They were so easy props. How could you not even create that? And they would make it a lot... Oh my god, whatever. You could even CG those.
Don't.
Why are you so... That can't be so... Is that supposed to...
Prince Zuko.
Okay, I know I'm harping on this a lot, but you know, I was hoping that the actors would at least resemble the characters. Or you know, have the scar be at least noticeable. I can barely see it on my screen and it's even smaller on yours, so...
Son of Fire Lord Ozai and heir to the throne. Bring me all your elderly!
That scar is so... Oh. My god, you could do at least a bit better. Okay, those helmets are almost fine enough. Although outfits in general, almost. So close. But you could have put them at least like up completely masked. Whatever. I suppose they are fine. Upon retrospective. I would have preferred the... I don't know. I would have preferred if the Aang's like tattoos are like completely solid and they are just like blue arrows instead of those frilly symbols. It's far too complicated, complex, and I mean, it doesn't look right.
Who are you? What's your name?
I don't need to tell you anything.
Airbender!
Why does Zuko sounds really off?
To my ship. If you don't come, I'll burn down this village.
I'll go with you. Don't hurt anyone.
The acting is so... Hey kid, what's called emotion? Just no.
There's someone old and they were looking for someone with the same markings the boy had.
They dragged Mom away the same way when we were babies. She wouldn't have stood and watched us being taken away. She would have fought.
Your mother was killed.
It's our responsibility. We should fight. What would you do if they tried taking me away?
I'd kill them all.
Why?
Because you're my sister. Because Dad told me to protect you with my life.
Because I'm your responsibility. This boy is our responsibility.
What do you want us to do, Katara? How are we supposed to save him? They're on a ship. We'd need a miracle to catch them. I know you think everything's going to work out, but I don't.
Oh boy. Well. Wait a minute, you weren't supposed to learn to fly yet.
Some creature thing floats.
Well, that's again artistic freedom, so that should be forgiven, so... I just don't like how Zuko looks. Is...
What do you want with me?
My nephew wants me to perform a little test on him.
Is that... I don't know how long I can. I don't know how long I can defend the movie just with artistic freedom. If you're making an adaptation, you should at least try to follow the whole original source material, at least a bit in those graphical context. Just
What kind of test?
I assure you, it won't hurt. I've performed it hundreds of times, and it only takes a few moments, and then you're free to go. Would you mind if I put a few things in front of you at the table? It will only take a moment.
That's all you want.
My name is Iro, and you have my word.
Iroh, you.
Grandma, I know you're gonna try to stop us, but this is just something I need.
Down. I knew from the first time we discovered you were a bender that one day I would realize your destiny. There hasn't been a water bender in the Southern Water Tribe since my friend Hama was taken away. Today, I found out that destiny. Did you see that boy's tattoos? Tattoos like that haven't been seen in over a century. I believe they are air-bending tattoos.
How can that be?
They're not air.
I believe that little boy might be the Avatar.
What the
A long time ago, the spirit world kept balance over us.
What is
How
this
could-
spirit world, Grandma?
How could you even
It's
like...
not a place made up of things you can touch, but it
Why are you
exists
rushing
nonetheless.
through the important bits so fast?
It's filled
without
with
any
the most
build-up or
amazing
anything?
forms of dazzling creatures that exist in the most exotic valleys.
Like, they still shouldn't have like... Oh, so many things are wrong with this so far. I don't know. This is just unbearably awful. Like, those... It's not like Sokka and Katara have any like reason to go after and save Aang because they haven't had time to... It's less than 15 minutes and... Let's just continue. I want to get through this.
Each of these creatures is a spirit. They have watched over us since the beginning. They have guided us. But only the Avatar can go speak to them.
Aren't there spirits here?
Yes, there are some spirits that live hidden among us. I'm sure they're watching us with great sadness. The Fire Nation doesn't wish to live by the spirits. That's why they are so frightened by the existence of the Avatar.
What can you do?
With his mastery of the 4 elements, he will begin to change hearts. And it is in the heart that all wars are won.
What? But... The whole motivation of the freaking story is different. I don't... It's
Go
just...
help this boy. He will need you to.
This
And we
is gonna take a while.
need him.
Oh my god. What? What? That doesn't make any sense. Like, what the f... This is... But, like... It...
You are my prisoner. Airbender. taking you back to the Fire Nation.
You said
I apologize. I should have explained further. If you failed the test, as all others did, you were free to leave. But as it turns out, you are the only man in the entire world who could pass this test. It is truly an honor to be in your presence.
Don't even try to escape.
This is a warship!
What was I saying about the effects again? No, that wasn't. I've complained about, like, during the whole series when, like, we are shown soldiers being like the soldiers when they act like they are incompetent, and Iroh and Zuko just got outplayed by Aang, and not because he freaking airbended them through the walls or something like that, or disabled them, or even fought against. They are not so. That's unforgivable even under artistic license. That's just. Hey, maybe it's a comedy. Yeah, maybe the whole movie will be a comedy. That's how you decide. I don't know what you are even how you could even make the airbending look fantastic. But that just doesn't look right. In the show, airbending is a lot more lot better. It at least looks like something. The glider at least looks fine. I still can't just freaking tolerate Iroh and Zuko, but wait, are they really just going to let them go away?
Thanks for bringing Aqua to me. The Fire Nation is up to something. I have to go back now.
They are.
I could take you back to the village.
We're going with you.
Are they just going to watch?
You found the Avatar.
But fire.
For a moment, I had my honor back.
Why is Zuko? Zuko is my possibly. I think Zuko is my favorite character, and
Your destinies are tied, Zuko. That you can be sure.
Aang flew us to his home.
it's not
Told
even
us how he
20
left there in a
minutes
storm
yet.
on Appa and got forced into the ocean where they almost drowned. Aang airbended a sphere around them and ice formed, and he couldn't remember anything after that.
Hey, Jinzo! Monet! I'm back! Hey, guys! I want you to meet someone!
This is where you live?
They must be playing music or something. Monkey Atsu's gonna try and jump out and scare me at any moment. He's the teacher responsible for me. He's kind of like my father.
Is it okay if you tell me your name?
The monks named me Aang.
Why is it's Aang?
Guys!
Why is he acting?
Get behind me.
He's a flying lemur bat.
Okay, so Momo looks at least passable. Let's go with that. But why is, like, couldn't they have gotten someone better for Aang? He just is really wrong. And I don't care about artistic license with this. If you can't get the main character at least resembling the whole,
I keep them as pets.
Weren't they extinct a long time
Just-
ago?
Extinct? No, there must be thousands of them on this mountain.
Your friends were monks?
I know where they are right now. They're at the bird field. Wait!
Oh my.
Talk to you.
I think you're in that ice
It's
for
Aang.
almost 100 years. The Firebender started a war.
I left a few days ago.
The Fire Nation knew the Avatar would be born into the air nomads. So they exterminated all the air nomads.
Oh my.
You're lying!
That's... We're not even shown the... We're not shown the importance of these... of those symbols yet, so... Hey! I wonder if this will actually... how much this will resemble the actual scene. That looks off. Why is he in spirit world?
Your friends were monks?
That can't be the... Are they... It is...
Avatar, where have you been?
Okay.
I can't bring Monkey Yatsu back, but Sokka and I can be with you as long as you need.
Who is that? Like,
We can do this
that can't be
together.
the faceless beast, or the face eater, whatever that's called. And that's not... oh, whatever. I'll just... You know what, let's just... I'll just... I'm just... I believe the last two... After the movie I have a lot to say. And also that was a freaking incompetent way to stop. That's... Is that Zhao?
Let's offer him lunch.
That can't be General Zhao.
Thank the great General Iroh, young
Iroh.
for dining with us. As you know, the Fire Lord has banished his son, the Prince, and renounced his love of him, and will not let him return to the throne unless he finds the Avatar. The Fire Lord believes his son is too soft, and by doing this, he will become strong and become a worthy heir to the throne. I commend the Fire Lord's discipline. For example, it seems I need to remind Prince Zuko that during his banishment, he is an enemy of the Fire Nation and is not allowed to wear the Fire Nation uniform. So we will let him wear it today, like a child wearing a costume.
That's not how the original banishment went, so...
One day my father will take me back, and you will bow before me.
Oh, he'll be dead before that. I have really difficult time just I'm definitely going to take a time off at some point. This is just ungodly awful. And you know, I am justifying a lot of the movie with artistic freedom. But don't worry, this is... I mostly do that to just like keep myself from freaking stopping the movie right there and having a rant at this. He wasn't... That fire looks really freaking lame. And in the... He didn't actually fight just like hand to hand that much. He used the swords and mostly trained with firebending. Oh my...
You okay?
I'll be fine.
You know, my grandma thinks because you're an airbender that you could be the Avatar.
How much does a Fire Nation control?
A lot of villages in the Earth Kingdom, like around here. They haven't been able to conquer big cities like Ba Sing Se, but they're making plans, I'm sure.
So,
at least
are
they
you
said
the Avatar, Aang?
At least they said passing say right. Also, why the frick is Sokka just a stick in the mud? Like, he's just... There are so many things wrong, I just don't know how to handle this.
What is this?
Stay hidden.
That child is being arrested.
For what?
He was bending tiny stones at us from behind a tree. It really hurt.
He can bend Earth?
Earthbending is forbidden in this village.
That's
Leave him alone.
that kid who I can't
You're
remember
not
the name
taking
of.
him anywhere.
No one is taking anybody away.
She's a bender.
Katara!
She wasn't that incompetent in the show at the very beginning either. She was still able to do something, so... Let's just wait. I wonder if they'll have a metal prison. At least the doors are metal.
Dad!
That
This is my father.
can't be right.
Fire Nation.
Are they... I'm gonna take a minute here. Are you really... Seriously, like... This can't be right. Are they honestly so daft that they have just a normal prison for earthbenders, surrounded by rocks that looks like a mountainside? Like...
Plan. Suppress all.
Hey, it could be just a normal prison for everybody, and there just happens to be earthbenders there. Yeah, let's say it's that. Then I'll be able to take this.
Other bending.
How did this happen to your village?
Fire Nation sent soldiers. We fought them and defeated them. Then they sent their machines. Huge machines made of metal.
Yes.
Nothing we could do.
Yes, there is. Honestly, is everybody in the movie a freaking incompetent idiot? Like, I know there were tanks in the shop, and the Earthbenders were amazingly, incredibly effective. Okay. I'm getting way too aggravated about this. Let's
Could
continue.
not then were allowed to live in peace if we were in prison.
So it's honestly a prison for Earthbenders. That can't be right. That's...
Earthbenders! Why are you acting this way? You are powerful and amazing people. You don't need to live like this. There's Earth right beneath your feet.
You don't... I'm this close to stopping the movie. Like... How can you be such an incompetent screenwriter that you literally point out your own plot hole? You... Just... My God, let's just continue. Let's get this over with.
Is an extension of who you are. If the Avatar had returned, would that mean anything to you?
The Avatar is dead. If he was here, he would protect us.
My name is Aang. And I'm the Avatar. I ran away, but I'm back now. It's time for you to stop doing this!
The Avatar would have to be an Airbender. Are you an Airbender, boy?
Leave him alone!
That's so dumb. Why?
How is he doing that?
I don't want to hurt anyone.
All Airbenders should be dead. Kill him! Firebenders! Let's attack him!
That airbending looks really, really lame.
Everybody can help us now!
Hey, the fire is actually okay. Fire looks actually kind of nice. I mean, the water and fire bending looks really okay so far. Then again, that happened. Let me look at... Let's see that one more time. How many benders are there? Like...
Don't be afraid!
Oh, shut up. Fake it. Now, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm taking another break here. Honestly, this... I have a freaking headache about this already. It's... I'll just... Why does the airbending look so incompetent? You could have done something more visually appealing. Maybe just outline the air slightly more better. Like you, it just looks like you're throwing dust at them. And not like a cool kind of dust that can rip off your bones, but like a little buff of dust that doesn't do anything. It looks so... Oh my. Why are the soldiers so incredibly incompetent? Also.
They took away any tools related to bending.
Yeah. Those are scrolls. What about it? Oh, that's an...
Fire Nation took this scroll from a member of your water tribe.
Okay, so... I know I could actually like save this rant for the end of the movie, but I'm gonna give this a little brief summary here. Like, I can justify with artistic merit, I can justify you taking artistic liberties with some certain things, like maybe the characters don't have to look the same way or act the same or sound even similar, and the events don't have to play exactly. But if you're trying to mimic the scenes, then they have to look at least pseudo plausible, and they don't. Like this way of getting Qatar the scroll, that waterbending scroll, I believe that's fine. That is fine enough. However, all these scenes, so far have been freaking stupid. It's just, I don't know how long I can deal with this.
This is rare. My mom told me about these.
This was you when you were born an Earthbender 2 lifetimes ago. You came to our village. Avatar, Kyoshi, loved games.
I do too.
Looking at that jawline, that doesn't look like a female. Or if it is, that's freaking masculine, female.
I mean, I still do.
A lot of the villages in this part of the Earth Kingdom are occupied by the Fire Nation.
Again, talking about like artistic freedom, that's an interesting way to wrap up that like existence, like so that you don't have to actually have more time devoted to that. But
this village was. They prey on the weakest towns and villages. We should go visit some of these towns.
I need to tell you something.
What is it, Aang?
I ran away before they trained me to be the Avatar. I don't know how to bend the other elements.
Why did you run away?
The day they told me I was the Avatar, they said I could never have a normal life. That I could never have a family. They said it cannot work with the responsibilities of the Avatar.
Why can't the Avatar have a family?
I asked that. They said that's a sacrifice the Avatar always has to make.
Okay, so what if we found you teachers to teach you bending? Which element would you have to learn first?
Water. Water comes after air in the cycle. Air, water, earth, fire.
There are really powerful benders in the Northern Water Tribe. My dad told me about it before he left. It's led by a princess because her father died.
That's not the reason why you should learn the bending first, but whatever.
You can get there on Appa.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't mind.
We can stop in the villages on the way, start a change in the war in these small villages. Should we try it?
Yes, we should.
Like, I'm not gonna. That guy, that male, that kid. Characters are so wrong. They're not Katara and not Sokka. Like, are they really just going to wrap up through majority of the series like this? That's actually just fine, but at least make it seem interesting. Oh, that's Zuko, huh? Is that Zuko? Really? Really? Okay. How are we gonna handle this scene then?
The scroll we had was proving to be helpful. Aang was practicing, but for some reason, he was having trouble with waterbending. We moved from town to town in the Earth Kingdom. We tried to stay out of sight, but Sokka became concerned we were being followed.
I just cannot justify everything with artistic freedom, you know. It's only been 35 minutes, please. I can't take this. It's so...
Sire, I have good news. As you know, I conducted a raid on the Great Library, which most said didn't even exist.
Get on with it.
I have found scrolls in the library.
Wait.
We are deciphering them. But I believe they may contain
that can...
information as to where the ocean and moon spirits live in this world. With this information, we could bring down the Northern Water Tribe City.
That can... Nope.
The true strength of fire.
I am pleased. Well, Commander Zhao.
That...
Are the rumors true or not?
Our spies have discovered someone claiming to be the Avatar.
That cannot be...
They describe him as just a boy.
That cannot be... He's not the fire. No.
Kingdom people under our control. I can leave soldiers hidden in certain locations.
And my son?
He had his chance. He missed it.
Let's hope. My son doesn't find this person first and it turns out to be the Avatar. He would return as a hero and for all purposes be your superior.
That's the fire. I'm gonna... You know,
I suppose it's a race then.
I'm gonna ignore that scene. Completely. That didn't happen. Yeah. That didn't happen. I'm in shock. No.
They've been moving farther and farther north. We're catching them.
There are a lot of pretty girls in this town, Zuko. You could fall in love here. We could settle down here. And you could have...
What? But... What? That recommended... You... What? Why would...
Best life.
That's a really bad timing for that.
I'll show you what we must, Uncle. Hey, little one, come here.
Oh my god.
You look like a very smart boy. Tell me what you know about the prince, the Fire Lord's son.
He did something wrong.
He spoke out of turn, general, in defense of some of his friends who are going to be sacrificed in a battle.
Then Prince Zuko was sentenced to an Agni Ki duel. But when he showed
Agni Ki. The pronunciation, just like. Oh, I'm just gonna like I'm just gonna forgive the whole pronunciation of everything in the movie so far with just, you know, artistic freedom. Maybe it's a different language and they have completely different spelling of and pronunciation of everything.
it was his father he was to fight.
That's right.
He would not fight his father.
Then his father mocked him and said, I should bring your sister up here to beat you.
Then the father burnt his son.
Azula is at least fine. Kinda. Sorta. I can deal with that.
We'll catch him soon, Uncle. Then we can think about the pretty girls.
There was no build up to her trying to teach him.
Try to keep your wrist bent like it's showing. What's wrong?
The whole...
You've really been distracted today.
I saw Ahsoka's maps. We're near the Northern Air Temple. Do you think it would be okay if I just visited there and came back? I'd be back in less than a day.
Why?
He had a vision at the Southern Air Temple prayer field. He talked to a dragon spirit who he thinks can help us. He thinks if he goes to another spiritual place, he can get back to the spirit world.
I don't think that's a good idea. We started a rebellion.
I can't deal with that character.
Talk him out of it.
What? Could you at least have the waterbending look bad so I have something to complain about it? It's fine. Oh, it's a shame that the waterbending is at least fine, so I can't complain about that. Kinda. I mean, at least they got something right. Why are there waves? What you doing? What you doing, boy? He's having an emotional scene. I wonder how they'll screw this one up. Hey, not Aang. Do you know what emotion is? No? Good, me neither.
I guess your talk didn't work.
He'll be back in a day.
Fire Nation is following us. We make a wrong move, they'll catch him.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see how this pans out. Why is there still someone there? Like, it's a trap. It's the trap again. At least that's handled kind of well.
Who are you? It cannot be. I've heard stories. Are you?
My name is Aang.
I can't believe I've lived to see
God.
your return. I'm an Earth villager, but I visit these temple remains often.
The Fire Nation has destroyed this temple. They have ruined everything.
No,
Destroyed. There's nothing broken there.
there's a hidden
That's not broken.
chamber of statues. I think you, of all people, should see. These are all the avatars. These are the reincarnations of you over the years. The avatar Roku was your last life. How did the Airbenders...
I mean, at least this scene resembles it a bit. Then again, this most of the movie doesn't resemble the series.
Were the avatar, little one?
It's so bad.
It gave me a test. It put 1,000 toys in front of me and asked me to choose 4. I said I chose the same 4 objects that belonged to the previous avatars. That's when they told me I could have no family. Told me I had a responsibility to the 4 nations. There's a ceremony when everyone bows to me. That's when I accept my role as the Avatar. But when everyone bowed, I didn't bow back.
Seemed like a nice young man. You really do. You will forgive me, won't you?
For what?
For luring you down here.
Yeah.
Lived in poverty because of your absence, Avatar. So you will understand my actions today.
No, but... Hey, he didn't even fight back. Yeah. I'm just going to point this out, but none of the main characters even they're not even close to their real persons. Like, that's one of the most awful things about this whole movie so far. And even though Aang is technically speaking saying what he did, in the show he had a lot other the real Aang had a lot more guts, and he was a lot more defiant and a lot more powerful. He had a lot more spirit, and he was a lot more driven. And even though he struggled with having to face his destiny as the Avatar, he didn't run away from it. I mean, he didn't deny it anymore, and he didn't think about it in a bad way that he ran away, even though it was so many things. Continue. I'm just not gonna. I'll not try not to rant during these.
I have seen a vision of the moon.
I'll try to not rant during the movie.
The Fire Nation has stolen knowledge of us from the great.
By the way, nice spiritual place in the prison, you fuck. Only 40. Honestly though, I'm gonna have to take another break, so I'm gonna have to stop pausing the video, or the film rather, because honestly though, otherwise we'll be here for the whole day.
Library. They are planning to miss you.
I'll write about this in the end.
I will stop them.
You must go to the Northern Water Tribe. If they take that city, more will suffer and die as your airbenders have. You must go now.
Will I stop them?
Wake up, young man.
Okay, no pausing there, but that could have been a creative reason for him to go there. Could, but it's wrong.
Not gonna kill you.
Completely wrong.
Besides, you'd just be reborn again. Then
But
the search would continue.
But you'd kill the last Airbender, so what's the problem?
Been all this time.
Then you'd have to hunt down all the Airbending scrolls or something.
I understand that when you freed that handful of towns, you were very impressive, but you only used airbending against my soldiers.
Naturally.
Now, why is that?
I mean, what makes this movie really, really painfully awful to... That's the blue spirit. What makes this really painful is that they are copying so many elements from the actual show, but they are doing them so poorly. Like, if they would only create their own story, it would be just fine. But as a recreation of the series, it's really bad. This was actually a very well done scene, however, so actually, well, maybe just fine, but I mean, that was just a fine scene. There are some good scenes, or fine enough scenes here, so like, it could be worse. At least the airbending looks bad. I mean, at least the water bending looks fine enough. What? Yeah. You're just gonna skim over the whole blue spirit thing as well. Well, now we'll see how they'll screw this one up. This was one of the most amazing scenes in the first season. How they escaped. Now let's see how this is botched. I certainly hope that they won't be doing that whole 300 thing where it goes into rapidly changes the speed of the whole scenes. Also, why aren't they doing anything? They should be firebenders. The Fire Nation was infamous for using mostly just... This is just incredibly dull. That doesn't... Honestly, it doesn't even look like he's airbending. He just... You could fly. You are firebenders. Why aren't the firebenders sped? Just... Just sink down to your level, you stupid movie. What? Oh no. It doesn't. Oh god. It. Oh no. It's so incredibly boring. Everything looks so slow. Oh my god. It really looks like...
Do not kill the Avatar! He will just be reborn again. Why are you doing this? Who are you? Open the gates. Let them out.
Even that was handled poorly. Why did he yell that out like a freaking fool? Why aren't they not firebending? Why aren't they doing anything? Why is it so bad?
Is it some kind of spirit, Commander?
Not at all. Do it.
Just do it! Hey look, is it a bomb? Well, that was accurate. It's pretty cool that at least that's like somehow close to the show, even though it looked a lot better there. But honestly, that recreating that scene would have been really hard, or not, but more difficult at least. Wow, great soldiers. Fog through the... Because of that fog, they couldn't move. That's just incredibly dull. Yeah, okay, get the move on, you freaking oafs. This is... I'm just gonna avoid the whole pausing the video because I want this to be over as soon as possible. I honestly... My god. That's pretty close to the scene, at least. Kinda. Although we didn't get that important confrontation.
And how did he escape?
I fear that your son is not only incompetent, but also a traitor. Of course, I cannot prove this, sire.
You think my son is this person the soldiers are calling the Blue Spirit?
Yes.
Zhao's men were searching the coast looking for you. They also searched the ship. I told them you went on a vacation with a girl. Where were you for the past 4 days?
Nowhere. We have to keep moving. The Avatar is traveling again.
Take rest first. It looks like you went through a great deal, huh? When you wake, we'll have tea together before we start engines, huh?
Honestly, I just cannot think this is... This movie is honestly in no way related to the actual series.
You have my word, sire. I will not.
I'm just gonna call this movie what it is and just say that it's stealing from the series, and it's not even inspired by it. It's only stealing, blatantly just stealing all the good things and making them bad. Really incredibly bad. Nice emotions there, Iroh. The movie's almost halfway done though, so... Although that assassination attempt came at the very end.
He has rejoined with his supporters.
It has been confirmed that he's traveling north. It is my strong belief that he is traveling to the Northern Water Tribe. I believe the child Avatar has only knowledge of his birth element air. I believe he is trying to learn in the discipline of water. He's gone to seek out someone in the Northern Water Tribe, where they have lived beyond our reach and openly practice waterbending.
That again looks pretty good. Like, that's a pretty faithful depiction. Not that great, but it's fine enough. Like, that's so close to being fine.
We arrived at the Northern Water Tribe.
That's immature. I'm not gonna comment on that.
We presented ourselves to the royal court. My brother and the princess became friends right away.
But why though? No, they didn't. Please no.
Aang showed them he was the last Airbender and was accepted to train with the master.
Why are you even... Why are you telling these things? Like... Okay, I said I wouldn't pause, but seriously, why is there so much narration when you could just go... That's so bad storytelling. Why does this guy even have a job? How can you make something so god awful and still be allowed to have your job?
And they prepared for war they knew would come in the ensuing weeks.
I certainly hope that the ending credits last like 20 minutes or something.
If we keep them to the courtyard and the marketplace till night falls, where we have the advantage, we will succeed. If we let too many of them into the city, their sheer numbers will overwhelm us. As many fires in this city should be put out as possible when the alarm sounds. We want to minimize their Bender's sources.
Just everything. Okay, that's good. Though that's good. They pointed out the two very important things. Waterbenders have advantage during full moon or night. Yes, good. And they should put out fires. Excellent, excellent. I hope they stick to those.
At all times, Princess. Your presence is our inspiration.
I'll do it. That's me, I'll be her guard. Nothing will happen to her.
I had a feeling you might volunteer.
I have had no word of my son for some time. Do you know where he is?
I've not heard of anything, sire.
This whole movie lacks build-up.
The Northern Water Tribe Benders are given their strength by their moon and ocean spirits. They will be difficult to defeat. Now, if for some reason the spirits were not involved, that would be different. What have you learned from the stolen scrolls?
We have deciphered the location of the moon and ocean spirits.
Zhao wasn't...
It is our destiny to have found this information, Zhao.
This is just incredibly stupid.
Take this city, and we will have thwarted the Avatar in the process.
It was Zhao's idea. Possibly. I think it was completely Zhao's idea to attack. That's... oh, whatever. Let's just... please. I want this to be over with. This is just...
Water is what?
gotta.
Master Water, you must release your emotions wherever they may lead you.
No, you don't.
Water teaches us acceptance. Let your emotions flow like water.
Why is Katara there?
Would you like to spar? You haven't sparred in a few days.
And why is the master sparring Aang? That's so incredibly dull and stupid. What kind of spar is this? First off, I don't have a problem with Aang being the sparring partner instead of Katara. It's very stupid and bad for the story, but that's not the problem, because Katara isn't the main character. However, this fight so far is just really, it's so bad. So stupid. So lame. It's so uneventful. That whole fight with Katara and the teacher was so much better. This is just blatantly boring. Those attacks are really unimpressive. And that's not how the the bending doesn't even look that... like the actual motions of bending look really bad. If that master isn't supposed to be inspired by the... shouldn't be inspired by the actual waterbending master, whose name I can't correctly remember, then that would have been a fine scene, but since he is...
glad you could accept my invitation to join us on this historic event.
Your invitation was most gracious.
You are a gifted strategist, no one can argue that. Your failure in the 100-day siege of Ba Sing Se won't be held against you. Your son died in that siege, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
What a casual
And I
conversation.
offer my condolences on your nephew burning to death in that terrible accident.
Thank you.
That's so dumb. That conversation was so poorly handled.
Loved spending these weeks with you, Sokka.
Me too.
They,
Should we see what the ocean is doing today?
they completely skipped the Kyoshi warriors. That's...
When there is some safety for all of us, I will come visit our sister city in the Southern Water Tribe and spend some time in your home.
That would be great. But I warn you, my grandmother will ask you a lot of questions.
What might she ask me?
She'll say, "Why is your hair white, young lady? You look very odd."
I would say to you, grandmother, my hair is white because when I was born, I was not awake. My mother and father could not get me to make a sound or move. They prayed for days to the moon spirit and took me into the sacred waters.
Just everything's handled so...
My parents said that my hair turned white then and life came into me.
Casual conversations, everybody!
You didn't ask me. Your grandmother did.
I'm sure Zhao was the one who ordered the attack on you.
Any problems?
Even this
We have arrived at the Northern Water Tribe. I believe the boy is there. Zhao has no sacredness. Are you sure you want to be here?
Not be allowed to live in peace until I bring the Avatar to my father. Is that not clear to you?
Well, the only positive thing I can say is that at least the main characters are not the main characters from Avatar, so this movie honestly has nothing to do with the series. Only thing it has is it stole the basic concept. Otherwise, there's nothing same with this. This is ungodly awful. So you could say this movie is just one big ripoff. Why are you wasting your time on this instead of character development or story or pacing or anything else? Oh. At least they got the whole Black Snow thing correct.
Fire Nation is here.
Yeah, at least that was done. That fact is correct, and it's done fine and done well enough, I think. Is
Now be sure to keep your uniform closed up to your neck. And remember, your chi can warm you.
I know, Uncle.
could you? They completely skipped everything that makes Zuko at least a bit relatable. It's so incredibly stupid and poor and well, so poorly paced and. From the antagonist side of the story, I honestly cannot say anything good. This is so far has been just blatantly stupid. Like, really, the antagonists have done nothing correct. And no, well, whatever. It's not important. That just this is almost a fine enough, almost a good enough, close enough representation of how the show actually went. That's not actually too bad. Not too bad, not too shabby. Unfortunately, I wanted to complain more.
Aang needs to ask you something.
I have to talk to the Dragon Spirit. He can help me defeat the Fire Nation. Is there a spiritual place where I can meditate?
There is a very spiritual place. The city was built around this place. But we must hurry.
Okay.
To get your Airbending tattoo, you have to meditate for long periods of time without losing focus. Some of the great monks can meditate for 4 days.
I have to get back.
I'll take you.
I hope at least the tattoos will glow. That's They don't? Okay, they won't. Yeah, of course they won't. Why would they? That's their whole purpose.
Can you hear me? I knew you were real. I always knew you were true.
Me too.
Hey, what a time for Zuko to show up.
Fire Lord's son. You took him from our village.
Well, this is incredibly dull.
My name is Katara, and I'm the only waterbender left in the Southern Water Tribe.
Okay. It still is freaking uneventful. It's like the bending doesn't have any energy behind it. It looks so damn boring, and there's honestly nothing. It has nothing in it. There's no weight behind it. It's so incredibly. It's so boring. Please end already. I want this to be over with. I can't. Yeah. Come on, there's only like 100 ships or so.
If waterbenders get power from the moon, they will get stronger as the day comes to an end.
General Hero, I've been keeping a secret.
What is that?
In my raid of the Great Library earlier this year, I found a scroll that tells the location of the ocean and moon spirits.
To meet a spirit would be a great honor.
Well, I hope I can give you that honor.
That creature is just fine. That's interesting, shall we say?
Zuko's here in the city.
Yeah. No,
You're
he's
calling
not.
Again.
Yeah. Oh my!
Just wait till everyone's fighting everyone. Then the night will slip out.
Can you hear me?
The fact that his tattoos don't glow makes it so. It was such an important thing, like the whole tattoos in the series, they were so important. This, however, is just... And he wasn't talking to a dragon.
You are not dealing with the loss of your people and your responsibility for their deaths. You are stopping yourself from are angry, you must let this go. As the Avatar, you are not meant to hurt others. Use the ocean. Show them the power of water.
Why is this? They made the whole spirit world be so boring. The whole spirit aspect is so wrong. It's just wrong. Everything is wrong. Let's continue. Oh,
Sister Azula was always a special one. She was a firebending prodigy. My father loves her.
Okay.
He can't even look at me sometimes. He says I'm like my mother.
He honestly didn't tie his legs. Oh my! Really, this is so bad that really all the fights just have no energy in them. This is like everything just lacks energy. That's the worst part. Like there's no energy behind anything. The fights have no energy, the scenes don't have any energy, there don't have any emotion. It's also bland and boring. Also, somehow they made the water look really boring. Well, how did you do that? Oh, whatever.
I advise that you pull back your men soon. They will be trapped in the city when the moon's power comes out.
Do not worry about the moon's power, General Ira.
Why should you not be worried about the moon's power?
Because your brother Fire Lord Ozai and I have decided it is in our best interests to kill the moon spirit.
What?
Yeah. Hey. The first confrontation of Aang versus Zuko. Really? Really? Why? Why is this just such a slapping fight? It's just such a... You know, guys, it's called Bender, so Last Airbender. Like, there's no bending in the whole fight. How can you... How incredibly dull. Oh my...
We'll find it.
Why is this... This is an atrocity. You really managed to make that boring. And guitar, oh my god, that's so dull. That's so... How did you manage to make that
Are you okay?
lame?
Did the spirits tell you anything?
Yes. The dragon spirit talked to me. I know what to do.
We have to go.
Well, I didn't see any bending in those fights, you fools.
You won't be killed by waterbenders if you stay hidden here. We could be friends, you know.
What a throwaway line! Oh my...
They're getting stronger.
Of course.
Scroll from the Great Library. This is our map. Our world is going to change soon, gentlemen.
My God, you're boring. Did I say Appa looks good? I'm gonna take that back now.
See where they're going. I'll go join the fight.
Mm-hmm.
They're called many names. Yin and Yang, push and pull. May I introduce you to the mysterious ocean and moon spirits. Why do spirits take the form of such benign things? It leaves them so vulnerable.
Teach man kindness and humility. Commander Zhao, there are certain things humankind should not tamper with. The spirits and the spirit world is one of them.
What are you doing here?
Stop, Zhao! The world will go out of balance. Everyone will be hurt.
The Fire Nation is too powerful to worry about children's superstitions, General Iro.
That's it. Still so painful.
We are now the gods. No!
That's how you handle that. Fuck this! I suppose I'm gonna have to stick till the end of the movie, but it's only like 10 more minutes or 20 or something. Let's just see how poorly they... I honestly want to see how they handle the whole Avatar state. Because my God, they have mishandled so many of the scenes. Besides, the moon disappeared, didn't turn red, you fools. If we just yeah, that's called fucking bending, you fools. Oh no, he bent fire. How can he do that? My considering that fire has the advantage of being the only element that, besides air, that you can create out of nothing with just a friction in the air. The background fighting doesn't even... Just get it over with!
He gave me life when I was a child.
There's still a chance. You can give your life back for the spirits.
Don't listen to him, he's Fire Nation.
Nothing is ever truly lost.
Is it mine to get back if I choose?
There are reasons each of us are born. We have to find those reasons.
This was the reason I was born.
You were born to die. Your destiny is to die.
What are you doing? You don't know what will happen.
I believe that my life force will leave my body and return to the moon spirit.
And then what?
My soul will no longer exist in this form.
Please don't do this. There must be another way.
Except your soul will exist.
Protect you.
My people are dying, so those who are in charge of others have a responsibility. It's time we show the Fire Nation that we believe in our beliefs as much as they believe in theirs.
But you would...
I'm scared. Make me more scared. I will miss you. I know.
Missed you. They were... None of the scenes in this movie have any build-up to them. It's... I'm gonna wait until the end. That's not how... I'm just... Honestly, this can't be compared to the series. At all. There's nothing similar to it. Nothing at all. This is just... Okay, admittedly, that was handled fine enough. Doesn't make up for anything anymore, but... I'm too freaking pissed off. Don't tell me there is no... There has to be the Avatar state, otherwise this is all pointless. Just please let there be an awesome moment in this, otherwise this is pointless. Yay.
I killed you. Come away from him, nephew. There are too many soldiers now. They would never let you take the Avatar. We must leave immediately. He wants to fight you so he can capture you, Zuko. Walk away. Come.
How can they handle everybody so wrong? How could you not get a single character right? Hey, that was actually kind of cool.
You stand alone.
Kinda.
It's always been your great mistake.
Okay, that was funny. There has been like 3 cool scenes and 1 funny scene. Otherwise... if I don't get even the Avatar state in this godforsaken movie, I'm... Hey, they drowned him. They actually drowned him. That was actually pretty damn brutal. That was cool. For once, that was actually something cool. And then we get to boring again. Slow motion doesn't make it awesome. God. Come on, show me the Avatar state. Do it! Do it,
Water teaches us.
There, you.
Let your emotions flow like water.
Do it. You know, you could have paced this a bit better, maybe closer to the moment when he met those fallen comrades of his. How can you pace a movie so poorly? How can you do this so... How are you so bad? That's not... Even that was handled poorly. That had at least the promise of being good. And no, it wasn't. Don't tell me there's no Avatar state. Oh, there won't be an Avatar state. He's just gonna summon a huge freaking wave. Well, those guys are dead. Yay. Please be good. Please be good. It's just a huge wave. Never have I ever been so disappointed during a movie. And yeah, it might be a huge wave. Still not that cool. Really? Is that all? You're not gonna do any... Is that it? That can't be the resolution. Okay, few more minutes. There's still time for it to be have something good in it. Please show. Get back in the avatar state and. No, it can't end. Not like this. Not like this! You... That... That cannot be it. That honestly can't be how you're going to end the movie. That cannot be the resolution! Never have I ever been so angry at this. If he would have just fired that huge wave and destroyed all those ships, that would have been enough. But no.
They want you to be their avatar.
Their avatar. I don't think that's how it works. Okay, I'll calm down here for a second. That's actually interesting that the Fire Nation, if I saw correctly, those were Fire Nation soldiers who bowed down before him. That is interesting, and that is potentially very good. I'm going to calm down now, because I want to rant at the end. But I want to point out the good parts. Otherwise, well, there's nothing really, there's no redeeming value in this. Yeah, those are Fire Nation soldiers here and there. Although, that's really hard to tell them apart in that scene. Which is really, really bad. Like, really, this scene shows, like, one of the greatest strengths of the show, which is the different nations they look very distinct. And here, Water Tribe soldiers and Fire Nation soldiers look all the same, if those even are. I can't actually even tell them apart. They look like the Fire Nation soldiers. How is this so... This could have some huge symbolic value, but it won't redeem this shit. Why are you... That's a stupid motion. Why do you look constipated, you... Why... That can't be the end. Are you on... Oh, God.
The Northern Water Tribe have failed to take the city. General Zhao was killed in battle. My brother has become a traitor. My son has proven himself a failure. Now, Sozin's comet is returning in 3 years. It will give all firebenders the ability of the highest firebender.
3 years. 3 years.
The ability to use their own chi to create fire. That is the day We will win this war and prove the Fire Nation's dominance.
Okay, that is actually an interesting thing. And I actually could applaud this artistic deviation from the source material that Firebenders can't actually use, can't actually create fire. That could be interesting. Could. It's not, but it could be interesting. Just thinking about it theoretically, if the fact that they can't naturally create fire, but rather that it's very rare for people to actually do that, that could be very, very cool. Could. It's not, but it could be. That also explains why the fights were boring as hell.
From mastering earth and fire, you must give us the time to get to that day. Do you accept this unspeakably important task I'm putting in your hands?
Wow, she looks bad.
I do, Father.
Like, she doesn't look like Azula at all. And that's how it ends. And there we see the problem. Can you see the problem? I'll show you the problem. There's the fucking problem. That's the problem. That guy is such a douche. Okay, I'm just skip the whole end scene and like, let's see if there's anything good here. Please be an extra scene or something. I doubt there's anything extra here, but hey, I need to keep hoping, otherwise I'll give up hope and definitely not be able to do anything. Something cool. No, it's just an outro logo. There's still 10 seconds left. You could do something. Funny line? Anything? No? Yes? No? Maybe? Okay, and that's the end. Outro time! Or rather, the review time. How should I freaking describe this ungodly, awful... I know I got a little bit more emotional than I would have preferred, naturally. I don't want to sound angry. I don't want to swear. I don't want to be too emotional. I don't want to be this aggravated. But honestly, this movie is ungodly awful. This is such a... This movie is ungodly awful, and it has so little redeeming value. And by redeeming, I mean it has some good parts. Some. Not actually even good parts. But like, there are things in it that could have had potential. So many things. And worst of all, it showed that it did have potential and it had original ideas and it could have been something. It had potential. But that was all for nothing. It was pointless, utter... I should have actually calmed down here for a second. This is just... Okay, let's talk about the good things first. They tried to recreate some scenes, and they sort of could have adapted the source material well. There were some actually kind of clever, like, scenes that kind of cut some episodes out so that it kind of made sense, kinda, sorta, not at all, but you know, I'm just grasping at straws here. I need to say something positive. Waterbending looked okay. Mostly. Sometimes. The wave at the end was kind of cool. It could have been better if it actually did something. I can't honestly think about this movie without getting aggravated. I want to be happy. I want to be at least complacent. Worst of all, it's not even funny bad. It's just bad and boring and stupid and silly and boring. Bad. Real bad. And it's not the kind of bad that you can laugh at. It's the kind of bad that you have to facepalm at. Some of the props were... No. Some of the scenes were... Backgrounds were kind of nice. Yeah, the sets were nice. Okay, yeah, no, I can't say anything else that's positive. That's just honestly all the positive things I can say. Yeah. No, I want to think of something positive to say. Okay, actually, I have one positive thing to say about this. Because of the god-awful quality of this movie, actually I have two positive things to say now that I can think about it. First off is why I almost can let this movie go. Almost. And that is because it's just an adaptation. It's definitely not considered to be canon, and it doesn't even have to be considered to be in any way connected to the series at all. It's mostly only completely just ripping off many elements of the show. Just about every element. But it's not connected to the show at all. It's just stealing. Because you know, kids, stealing is really bad, especially when it's done so blatantly. This movie is not an adaptation. It's a ripoff. It's stealing. It's not even inspired by the show, because otherwise it would have had something even close to the show. I'm getting aggravated again. This is... I can't remain calm about this. That's so horrible. Maybe I should take a pause and just go drink or something. But yeah, I don't... This movie is in no way connected to the Airbender. Last Airbender. Or the whole freaking series of Avatar The Last Airbender. There's no connection here. Yeah, there's no... This isn't in any... Yeah, I'm just gonna live in denial. This movie is not connected to the series at all. There's nothing that connects this to it. At least that's how I want to consider that. Because otherwise I'm gonna just, I don't know, break down or something. I just honestly cannot handle how bad this movie is. I forgot how bad movies could be. Okay. And the actually sort of good thing is, the weaknesses of this movie actually make me respect the good parts of the show a lot more. Since we get to see, like, let's take some comparisons. Because the fights are really boring. The fights are incredibly dull. There's nothing cool about them. They are really, really dull. They are just so boring. And that highlights how good the fight choreography in Avatar is, and how interesting and energetic and creative and fun the fights are, and how entertaining they are. And that kind of makes the movie, like, it kind of makes the series look better in comparison, you know? You know what I'm saying? Because we get to see the bad end of the spectrum and the good end of the spectrum, which is, the bad end is this freaking... I don't want to call this movie. I want to call this, like, stealing. I don't know. What could I call this? I want to swear too much, but you know, let's just call it like I'm gonna call this dog feces. Yes, I suppose that's fine. This pile of dog feces is the bad end of the spectrum, while it gives us perspective on how good the series is in comparison. So without this movie, we can't see how it could be done poorly, or we can like in some parts of the show, but this is like really shows how badly it can be done. So that's a kind of interesting perspective, and it does still makes me regret watching this movie. I honestly, what if this like commentary doesn't reach like couple 100 million views at any point, like ever, I'm gonna honestly regret this, because I forgot how painful boring movies are. And especially something that's stealing from such a fantastic series. And it's so bad. So incredibly bad. I honestly haven't watched a lot of movies recently, so I was not expecting this to be, like, movies to be so bad. I wasn't able to imagine how bad this could be, and I'm honestly regretting it a lot. Oh god. Like, should I do like, I'm gonna do this like, this outro will be really freaking long, because I'm gonna just complain about everything. First off, the bending is boring. It lacks all energy. It doesn't have any impact. And it looks really tame and unenergetic, which is a really big problem, because in the show, like, even Earth had all the properties of every element. It looked fluid and powerful and strong, but it still resembled Earth. And fire looked energetic and burning, and fire and life and all that. Like, it looked like fire. Here, however, fire looked like you threw water at a guy. Yeah, but it glowed. Yeah, cool. But it didn't have even a bit of the impact, or the there was nothing in that, even the fire that really looked like fire that much, other than the colors. Earthbending, however, looked almost passable. And then we got the little rock scene. That was possibly the moment that I gave up on this movie. That honestly was such a bad scene. That no, it really started a lot earlier, but yeah, that we got luckily though we got to see so little earthbending that there wasn't that much to butcher, but almost all of it was boring. The walls were kinda nice, not really though, really bad, but they are kind of a redeeming quality, kinda. Not enough, not even close enough, because there's the little rock, little rocks in. That's such a bad freaking point. That's just ungodly awful. Airbending was really boring. It didn't even look like anything. It was visually unappealing, and it looked really lame, and it didn't have any impact. On the show, there's a reason why the air is so well pronounced and why it has those outlines, and that's because we can see what it looks like, and that we can actually feel that it has some impact and energy behind it. But the bending in this movie was just plain boring and awful and didn't have any impact at all. On the other hand, the water effects were kind of nice. Kind of nice. Only kinda. And then we get to the fights and it was really boring again. Yay! I'm getting aggravated again. Let's talk about one of the big problems this movie has, and that is pacing. This movie is paced like ass. It has some of the worst pacing I have ever seen in a movie. Like, there's no build-up, there's no climax, there's nothing anywhere. It's just dull all the way. There's no build-up in anything, there's no foreshadowing, there's nothing. It's all so boring. There's a reason why in travel series you need to build up to some scenes, why you foreshadow some scenes, and that's the reason why Avatar has stick to this format that episodes were done in 2 parts, and that was the build up part and the conclusion part, because that gave us enough time for the ending part to have some impact. But in this movie, there was no build up to anything. There were a lot of scenes that came out of nowhere. There were no tension in anywhere. Most of the story parts were just scrapped. I'm honestly getting very freaking angry about this, and I don't wanna. Nice hairdo though. I'm just put my hair up like this. Yeah. That looks funny. Okay. Now I feel happy again. No, I don't. Okay, so yeah. The scenes were just so poorly placed, and they didn't have any build up. They didn't have any impact. They were shot really poorly and just all around really lame. So the pacing is completely botched. Then let's talk about the action, because there's a lot of that, and it's really boring. It doesn't have any energy. Like, one of the reasons why fights in Avatar are so much, like, they are so entertaining is because even though action is not what I personally enjoy all that much, in Avatar they are creative and fun, and most of all, they are complicated and they have energy. All the fighting scenes in this movie had no energy at all. They were just dull. All around dull, boring, and didn't have any impact or relevance to anything. It was really, really boring to watch. And this movie was all around boring. It's so boring. But it's painfully boring because they are butchering such an amazing material. God damn, I'm getting too emotional about this. Okay, then let's talk about... Actually, there's actually kind of one thing I could actually give the movie credit for. It almost followed the story, adapting it at least partially. It's not hard. It didn't do it well. It butchered most of it. It lost majority of the emotion behind it, and the meaning, and the pacing. But it did have the story mode. No, never mind. I can't give the movie credit for that either. I want to say that it followed the story, but no, it did not follow even the story that well. It had most of the scenes, but they didn't have any of the impact because of the god-awful pacing and just the way everything was shown. Then let's talk about creative freedom. And yeah, I know this is a little bit of a side tangent, but this is what I feel like they should have done. And that is, I think it would have been fine if they had taken inspiration from the show and made their own story, maybe adapting some parts of the show into it and just having all-around creative story. And like, you know, just almost just a fanfic in the Avatar: The Last Airbender or the TLA universe. That would have been fine. That would have been actually kind of enjoyable. And then I could have forgiven the fact that the character... Then I could have forgiven the fact that there are no familiar characters here. And the fact that they're like... These characters that we got in the movie, I am not going to call them by the names of that they were given, because they are by no means connected to the characters in the show at all, besides the name. But no, not even in the setting, because the setting is different. But yeah, they could have like done something different, and then we could have forgiven them for having different characters. Yeah, that would have been fine, but they did not, and they tried to adapt it, and they adapted it like ass. So, one of the biggest complaints about the movie that I have, actually the biggest one, besides it being freaking boring, is the fact that the characters are by no means interesting, and they are by no means representative of the actual source material. They are by no means the characters we have grown to love. Sokka is boring and unfunny and just all around unrelatable, and he's just boring, and he has none of the qualities that the Sokka we in the show has. So he's by no means Sokka. Guitar's girl, at least they got that right. Aang is a whiny kid, which is by no means what he is in the show. Oh, I don't wanna talk about this. That's one of the biggest problems in the movie, and that is the fact that they handled the character of Aang so bad. Oh god, they handled him so poorly that I even said the previous sentence wrong. So yeah, Aang in the movie, Aang is nothing like the Aang in the show. He's a whiny kid, nothing else. He looks like he's constipated all the time. He looks like he's almost gonna cry in every scene. But he still doesn't even show any other emotion other than just complacent sadness. But not in an actual sad way, where we could relate to his sadness and grief. But instead in that silly emotion, in the facial emotion that he has, that doesn't change at all during the movie. But he always looks like that. It's so damn. It's so bad. Then, the whole story arc that he had in the freaking show, how he comes to grips, like, Aang is one of my favorite characters because of how he handles the fact that he is Avatar, and because that interaction that he has a huge burdened face, but he does accept it. The fact how he handles that is one of the most interesting aspects of the story in the series, however. In the movie, he's a whiny kid. I need to calm down. Because do I need to go on? This is awful. Why did I force myself to do this? At least it makes me appreciate the series more, because in the series Aang is portrayed so darn well, and now we see how it could be done so poorly. I'm honestly on the verge of crying here. I feel like the series has been violated in some way. God damn, that makes me feel awful. Even just implicating something so horrible, but that's honestly how I feel like. Some ungodly, horrible things have been done to the show. Then let's talk about the antagonists. Hey look, Zuko has no personality at all, besides whining and being incompetent. Screw that. I'm not gonna talk about Zuko. Because in that movie, he wasn't Zuko at all. Zuko is my favorite character. I'm not even going to smudge his character by comparing him to this god-awful atrocity of a movie. Iroh is no better. Right, and Zhao is just... None of the characters are good. And definitely not even close to the original source material. No. Actually, the princess is almost closer, it feels like they cut out majority of the scenes, but the princess actually kind of resembles the princess in the show. In good and bad ways. Mostly bad, but like she kind of resembles the show a bit. A bit. Honestly, I don't really I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. Like, I'm just gonna cut that video here because I honestly don't want to think about this movie anymore. And Rob, honestly, I'm not really happy right now. This movie really is god awful in so many ways. In just about every way. In the effects, like, I heard this comparison, like, in the Ember Island Players, the last scene where they said, when they talked about the play, it was like a foreshadowing and a quick review of this movie. And one of those scenes of the lines in that final scene was, at least the effects were decent, and I'm going to have to disagree. The effects in this movie were by no means decent. I mean, sure, they could have been worse. But they were so bad, I would have rather have them have no effects at all. This is just such an awful movie, and I'm honestly not really happy about this. However, there's something good that happens after this. And that's the like, there's like, if I have to say one good thing about this movie, it's that it's over. And I'm never gonna have to watch it again. At least that's what I hope. Yeah, I'm just, well, if you made it so far, like, yeah, this was, it wasn't even entertaining. It was just so boring. That's like the worst part of this movie, that it was so unbearably boring. Oh man, I'm gonna have to see what Nostalgia Critic talk about this movie now. I think he made a. Did he make a? He might have made a video about this movie. I feel like he did. I'm gonna have to go see if he did. Okay. But yeah. This movie is by no means worth anything. I would have rather, like, done many horrible things. Have many horrible things happen to me rather than watch this movie. This is just blatantly awful. What? I would rather get... I'm not gonna do anything stupid like that. Whatever, let's just say that this is really one of the... Actually, I'm just gonna go... I know I haven't watched a lot of movies, especially recently. In the past year, I have gone to movies like 3 times, I think. Yeah. So I really am not a movie aficionado, so I really have not much grounds to speak of. But I can, however, say this. Personally, this is the worst movie I have ever seen. And that's not saying a lot considering my history, but that's my honest opinion. This is the worst movie I have ever seen. I have seen a lot, technically speaking, a lot worse movies. Manos, The Hands of Faith comes to mind, but that movie is enjoyably bad. It's funny bad. This movie is boring bad. And that's the worst part. On the other hand, it does show how good the series is, so. But I already knew that, so. Yeah, at least it's over. thank you for sticking with me. This was, no doubt, it was painful for you as well. And I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry that you had to sit through that movie with me. And I'm glad that... Actually, I'm not glad. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry that you had to sit through this movie. I'm no doubt have many of you already seen this movie. But I'm still sorry that you had to see it again. And those of you who saw this for the first time, I'm even more sorry. I hope I was entertaining at least, and I was at least able to help you get through the movie. Just going by personal experience, this was really ungodly painful for me. And I know I paused the video quite a few times, and I rage quitted a lot of times. But that's the privilege I have. You had the privilege to pause the video as well, but yeah. But I thank you all anyway for watching, because, well, shared pain is the lesser pain, I suppose. And there's some catharsis to be had from other people's pain, so by no means am I'm actually kind of glad that I got to show you my pain. Kinda in a weird way, if you know what I mean. So I'm at the very least thankful that you watched me and have stick with me so far in this freaking rambly outro. And I also thank you for joining me on this journey. It has been a pleasure to watch the series. And what tops off this series are the final 4 parts that will be coming next. So I'm going to be extremely happy about the after this now at least, so that now that I actually get to move on to those final 4 episodes with a clean conscience that I have sat through the worst and sat through the best in the series, at least. So at least I'm very good. It has been quite a long journey, and I'm thankful that you have joined me on this. I am grateful for all your views, likes, comments, and subscriptions. And most of all, I want to thank you just for being awesome, just for being so amazing people and being with me all this time. So, without further ado, one more time, I thank you for watching. Have a great day and stay awesome. I'll see you in the next video. Gonna move out.